it's been a long time. Things took a different turn. But the couple of episodes that I listened to of Gankers Podcast, I always reminisce, and I'm like, oh, those are pretty good. I wonder why we didn't keep this up. And obviously, running a guild and playing the game takes up a lot of time, and most of the gamers, it's tough for them to dedicate time to something like this. But long story short, there's enough and gumption to get this going. So Holy's here with me going forward. So welcome, Holy. I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, thanks. Appreciate you reaching out and giving me the opportunity to be on here with you.
Yeah. So past year, it's the last episode was November 11th, 2023. That's a long fucking time. I've really been playing.
Definitely.
Yeah, the last episode was about Season of Discovery, dev interview, and data mining. So it was pre-Season of Discovery. And holy moly, it'll be 2 years. We played this game a lot. It's crazy.
Just a little bit.
It's very time consuming in good and bad ways, which really sucks. But where the hell have we been this whole year? Well, we've been running a team. Been running a very successful guild in Season of Discovery, which started on Lone Wolf and then ended up on Crusader Strike with the transfers. I think this team didn't just drum up out of anywhere. It's been around for a long time, and we obviously met a lot of new people. Holy, you're one of the new people we met. Yeah, it's been great.
About a year ago.
Fantastic. Yeah, it's been
a wild year. It's been nonstop, gas pedal down the entire time.
Yeah, I mean, I've been running this guild since like 2019, one way or another, where it's like we joined that big, mega guild, which was my first guild experience and MMO experience in 2019. But they just asked me to like take over because I have the kind of personality to run a team and kind of stick to the big picture. And I have one rule that I follow. Obviously there's more rules, but the one rule that I follow personally is I always do what I'm going to say I do. Like, I never backtrack. Even if the decision ends up not being the best, it's like you need to stick to your fucking guns and do what you say you're going to do. It helps out. But in doing all that, the show got neglected. But I've always thought about this show. I think about it a lot. Like, wow, wouldn't it be cool to continue doing this? Not for fame or glory, but because it's something cool and there is a community of people that enjoy this content. So here we are. And we're going to keep the train rolling, which is cool.
Yeah, I mean, you can only like queue in Battlegrounds or go up in World PvP or farm so much gold. I mean, like, eventually you need some sort of creative outlet other than just grinding in WoW all the time. So this is definitely like something cool, something I've never done before, but I know that you've launched plenty of creative projects in your past, and I know that speaks a lot to what you do professionally. So I don't know. I think this is a really fun project. Like, I don't ever get to do anything really creative in my professional life or in my gamer life,
Yeah, I mean,
I work 9 to 5 and I play WoW.
Right.
I could do a little bit of yapping too. Let's give it a shot.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of yappers. I mean, we sit much in Discord with all these players and all these people that you get to know, and they have good opinions. Some of them suck. Some of them are great. Some people can leg press 1,100 pounds, but it doesn't matter, like,
yeah.
But yeah, this is just an episode where we get back into it. So there's not much of an outline. There's not much to just go on of. Because typically, like, I like to plan things and go for it, but also organic stuff is nice for people just to like, cool, that's a good idea. And like, I'm not going to claim to be a genius because I'm not. I'm just some dude who like enjoys hanging out with his buddies on his computer and then living my life. But I'm also a person that feels like I need to be proactive. I need to be doing shit. And if I'm going to play this game, God damn it, I need to make it like something positive besides just the game. Besides the community, besides the people, it's like something, there's an outlet that is building towards something cool. But I mean, speaking of outlines, what's our current routine in SoD? Kind of slowed down a little bit, I feel like.
So, do we want the do you want the real take?
I mean, I don't want to like get into
yeah.
SoD as a whole. Like, obviously there's a time to reflect on SoD and it's leading to
good things. Well, I'm sure we'll do the retrospective, but yeah, currently, June 17th, 2025, SoD is it's raid logging, but to rewind the clock a couple weeks going back, the dev team, the classic dev team, gave us their magnum opus. They gave us Scarlet Enclave, which they weren't going to do, and it was just going to be the Ashbringer quest line, and then it was going to be like a dungeon encounter, and then it became a dungeon. Then they saw that no, this was a raid. They wanted a pinnacle capstone, centerpiece to send us off with a bang, and man, they did it. I love this raid.
No, yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Enclave has been fun. It's as a leader, it's a new and fresh experience. It's a learning process for us all because like we know what to expect from Nax. We know what to expect from like all these other raids we've had a lot of experience in. But Enclave was just one of the. It's new. It's new content. Everybody loves new content. It's like the game popped up in popularity once again because it's like when Molten Core released or something. Like everybody's fucking playing. And then people are coming back. People that like skipped AQ and Nax are coming back. Even people from our guild were like, "Hey, I want to try." Like,
oh yeah,
back
for
in.
sure.
But it's one of those things that I feel like we could drag in some of our raiders to talk about Scarlet Enclave because they all have opinions about it, and it's fun to talk to like the bobbies and stuff. Like, we'll
for sure
tell you the fucking truth. No, Scarlet Enclave has been a breath of fresh air, and I think with the instance, I don't know from a development perspective, like how long it actually took them to make that instance, but down the road for like a Classic Plus, like stuff like that is literally Jesus to the game. It keeps it going. I mean, we're still playing. We're still raiding. We're still going through the motions, getting to 25%. So, and 25% being a damage buff in the raid. And we'll probably still raid after that, just on a smaller scale. I mean, I don't really see if it's going to be rinse and repeat and people still want to be active. I don't mind. It wouldn't be no trouble.
I'm still having a blast with the content. It's just that, we're in the final chapters of SoD now, and it's really sad because, I mean, honestly, like, going back the last two years almost, like, this is the most fun I've ever had playing WoW, like, hands down, and I've been playing since 2004. Like, I had a beta key. Like, this is the most fun I've ever had in WoW, and this is the most fun group of people I've ever had to play WoW with, and it is kind of sad that it is winding down, but I have no intentions to stop, but at this point, I've kind of completed all my goals. I have a nice little nest egg of gold and consumes to keep me going, and I'm pretty much raid logging at this point, and then hopping on every once in a while when people are pinging Discord saying that they need things and playing stuff. But SoD's pretty much like a raid night only kind of thing now, and then maybe once or twice.
I'm finding myself like. This is a whole nother fucking topic, but like what WoW does to your gaming experience. I'll summarize it. It kind of taints your gaming experience in a good and bad way. It just makes other games kind of boring, which really sucks. Because I do like other games. I'm like, this is fucking boring. Yeah. Let's quit. I'll just log into like WoW. And like last night I logged in and it's like 11 o'clock at night. And there's like a couple of people online. I whisper Ben and Iggy and I'm like, you just want to go PvP? And they're like, yeah, sure. I mean, it's like, hunt whoever we can in the open world, which is another topic of discussion. PvE, PvP. So keep a note for that. But like,
yeah, I saw you guys playing the other day, and we were playing a little bit of Cata. Don't tell anyone. We've been low key hitting up the Cata to get some characters ready for MoP, but we saw you guys PvPing in Black Rock Mountain, and we were just like,
yeah,
I don't know if we want to queue for another random dungeon right now.
I don't know if I want to like raid. I might raid a little bit in MoP with you guys, but I do need to hop on and get like a character going for sure.
Hey, they sell those.
Oh, I love swiping my credit card.
Yeah, so. Product placement for the Blizzard shop. If you play the later iterations of Classic, you actually don't have to. You don't even have to play the game as much as you have to do in SoD. So like that's like the funny thing about WoW players is like as much as they say they love the game, they really hate playing it. So anything you can do to save some time.
I think it was during the phase with like infusion leveling or whatever it was. The Dragon Zone leveling or whatever what it was called. I forget.
Incursions,
Incursions, and everybody complained about them, but like everybody hated it. But
dude, don't get me started on that.
They fucking loved it at the same time. It was weird. The only thing I'll say is we come across a guy in the zone and we're just banging out levels fast as shit. And he's like, this is the worst way to play WoW. This sucks. It ruins the experience. And we were just straight up like you can turn off this level boost. And he's like, why would I do that? And I'm like, okay, like whatever. Like you can totally like level slow if you really want to, bro. Just leave. Like nobody's
it's
making
crazy.
you do this.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah, I could man, that could be an entire episode. I have plenty of opinions on Nightmare Incursions and well, not really so much the Nightmare Incursions, but like people's everyone just like joining the Reddit hive mind, and carrying their their torches over it. I just thought everyone was pretty disingenuous on the negative feedback that I got.
Yeah. I mean, it's a retrospective thing. So they were trying to move SoD quickly, and that was one of the things they thought would help the experience. But it's really hard for a team that is like making something live gauge the timeline and like what people actually want. So it's tough. Definitely tough.
Yeah.
So let's see. Hot takes right now for the current state of what we're playing SoD is everything's dying down, which is normal for the end of an expansion. And number two, the auction house is very expensive. So it's very expensive to raid. It really sucks.
Yeah.
But
if the player base doesn't leave, the inflation will force them out. Hopefully you were smart enough to acquire large sums of gold weeks ago and buy multiple weeks and multiple stacks of raid consumes and load up some bank alts. Because
it
you're
is
not buying them now. They're way too expensive.
The conversation's so like complex because like there's still a lot of players, but they're not the farmers. They're not they're not the bots that are just farming herbs, making potions cheap. They're not.
Oh, yeah. They're long gone.
So it's like
those
it's weird how like players like hate, bots and stuff, but how like at this point they could become a vital part of a server. Like,
exactly. Like people don't understand like the positive benefits that they do get from a bot community. Like obviously it is a net negative. I think we can concede that. However, where do you think all the raw materials are coming from? Do you think real people are just actually going out picking flowers?
Some people do.
People are just
in the quantity that we use stuff, no.
Yeah, precisely. Like the majority of people that are listing those items at the auction house are either A, bot farmers, very small contingent of real people, or actual other players or other bots that are rinsing and relisting and just flipping the AH constantly to churn. Yeah. Churn and skin off the top.
Yeah, so we'll see where the economy goes. But lesson learned, I guess, Although I'm doing pretty well gold-wise. I mean, being a raid leader, we get privy to a lot of materials from raids that we can use to fund things. And most of the funds have been used literally on Runecloth to make world buffs for the raid. So it just gets funneled right back into the raid. Like, we go into Scarlet Enclave with like 30 some odd sets of world buffs, and I walk out with like 10 left.
Yeah.
So keep everybody buffed and alive and having fun. Let's see. The community vibe. How's it shifted towards the end? It's quiet. It's just quiet.
Got a bit quiet. And you know what? That's okay. Because, I mean, if I look back at just the last 2 months, and I can really extrapolate this out through the last couple phases, like I said it earlier in the podcast, like the last year, it's been pedaled down, like all gas, no brakes the entire time, especially Scarlet Enclave. You and I and like many of the other core, members of this guild, this community, were doing double duty, triple duty. I mean, I was playing 3 characters 6 to 7 nights a week to get these teams up and going and getting these raids on farm.
Yeah,
I am totally
speaking
fine
of, like,
with only playing this game 2 nights a week now on 2 characters. Like,
yeah. Speaking of like reasons why this like this initiative for creative kind of like died down, we got really busy, and there's a lot that this is another topic. Take note of like what it's like to run a team. And the team always expands, and there's always like logistics and all these things you have to take into account to make sure things are running smoothly. That's why like leaders like me can be short with decisions. Short as in like, this is what we're doing, don't ask questions. Like I'm not here to debate, I'm here to just get shit done, right? Like, because we're the ones who put in the hours, the work to make sure a raider who is on one character can have one night of fun. and that's all they're there for, and that's great. We rely on the players to be here, but we focus on 7 days a week. Like, what are we doing Saturday? What are we doing Sunday? And people ask, what are we doing Friday? And like, the people that don't want to participate on those days don't have to, but we kind of have to. We have to participate on some level to make sure things are running smoothly. So a lot of our time is dedicated to smoothing those days out and making sure the schedule works. And it's hard for people to be thankful for those processes behind the scenes. When I'm unfortunately a little short. I may sound short with like an individual's time. Their one data raid doesn't feel perfect. Like it could be more. Sometimes they feel like it could be more. Like splitting a team or something. But that I'm constantly thinking of the big picture, like the logistics of splitting a team, what that actually means. Like what that does to the overall schedule and how many things need to align to make it easy. On the surface, it's really easy to do on paper, but actually put it into action is tough. Because sure, you can split a team, but will they be successful? Will they actually have a good time? Like, will the person put in charge be a good person in charge, or are we going to have to do it ourselves? And now you're rating not 2 nights a week, you're rating 4 because the team got split and you're putting in more time because all the other teams have to function. So
now you're not clearing anymore because people, want to have a one night thing so they can do other stuff, have other endeavors, or go raid on their other characters, et cetera, et cetera. And then what was an 8 of 8 turns into a 6 of 8 because people don't show up for day 2.
Yeah, and that's another topic where we should just bring in the raid leads and let them just talk it out. Retrospective. What does it mean to lead a team? Growing pains. There's so much shit.
Raiders are pussies and bitches. That's what they'll say.
Basically. Although I do appreciate our raiders, but yeah, people complain sometimes. I'm just
kidding.
Yeah.
Not our guild. Not our guild.
No,
sure.
not our guys.
Yeah,
not our guys and girls. They all are.
Sign up on the website. We're taking new applications.
They're all adults, and they look and they act like adults. That's what's important.
No, but yeah, I mean that's probably your biggest strength is making a decision and keeping us organized. But we also have a really good team behind the scenes when we actually have to build things and structure things and build new systems to accommodate bigger or smaller rosters or bigger or smaller goals. We really had to restructure things kind of towards the end of last year when we realized like, hey man, we got the talent. Why are we sitting in the top 25 bracket? Like let's move into the top 10 territory. And that took a lot of work, But I mean, luckily we have like a really good team of really smart people that really know this game well and can manage people and the raid environment well to produce those performance-based results and really put us into that top 10 arena.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a job well done. People done. We're still chugging along, still technically working on that, but we've made a lot of accomplishments as a team, and it's been a lot of fun. So I'm not gonna. I mean, I could keep talking about that shit, unfortunately. But anyways, are you excited for MoP?
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, I am excited for MoP. I guess my hesitation there to answer it is like, one, I'm still very much invested in Scarlet Enclave right now. So that's where I'm trying to keep my focus right now because we still are competing. And I don't want to drop my bag yet because, I am kind of raid logging at this point, but I still want to stay competitive and I still want to keep my eye on the prize, which is like this pursuit of finishing out SoD top 10. So I've been playing a little bit of Cata casually, and I am looking forward to MoP. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I've heard a lot of people say that like if you're really enjoying Scarlet Enclave and the inclusion of a lot more modern boss design and how the classes are more fleshed out, then you're probably going to enjoy MoP a lot. And I've got my Resto Shaman. I played it for an afternoon, and I'm almost fully epicked out already. It's really easy to get caught up in Cata. With some of the new systems they have there. And it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy healing. Shaman's a lot of fun. I think it's going to be fun in Mist of Pandaria too. I heard it was a solid expansion, and I never played it back in the day. I was probably deployed at the time or whatever reason. I never really played that expansion too much. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, but it's not really my focus right now. I've just been, Raz and I have been organizing. We've been building a team. We've been bugging you to update the Discord, which, yay, Alf, please update the
Oh,
Discord.
sorry.
channel.
Yeah, we can do that after this. We
Yeah,
can go through
sure.
some stuff because I have to go
Yeah,
through
now that I have your attention,
how
we
this.
can build those
Yeah,
systems.
I have to pitch you, not just pitch you. I'm gonna do it regardless, but the website for the podcast where everything's how we're handling it, all the stuff, how we're handling Google. It's fun topic
Right
to
on.
talk about. You know, somebody like me that works in like B2C, B2B marketing. This is fun. I enjoy this stuff.
And what's that for the layman that is your co-host and maybe the listeners at home? I don't know what any of those things mean.
So we'll talk about it. So basically,
Sure.
you know, Gankers Podcast has a website, and each episode goes on the website, and the website has all the connections. The Discord has everything for people to jump in and ask questions, and also has like a cool like support your podcast store type Patreon type thing. Everything to keep the show going, and I obviously want the show to grow. And I
cool.
want this show to eventually end up at BlizzCon. So hey, we'll see where it goes.
That would
It can't
be
hurt.
dope.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, my whole goal of this show is we're not like super well known streamers. We're just players. And, you know, like I feel like a lot of times the opinions of the players is just really not that heard. It's really dictated by people who play this game for content, which is a completely different experience. Like,
Yeah.
like I'm only doing this for content. No, I'm doing this because I actually kind of enjoy this. I enjoy the people in the community, you know, like, and I've heard, like, for instance, like an episode we'll do later this week is the Classic Plus survey, right? It's clearly posted. People have all the questions. And I was listening to a streamer talk about it. And every time he answered a question about the survey, like his opinion was completely, I felt like it was opposite of the community.
Oh,
And
yeah. I had that very same experience. Like I watched a couple of I like to know what people are like. I watch some of WoW content to just keep current on things. It's a lot easier than reading the blue post. And I listen to a lot of stuff because I drive a lot for work. So
yeah,
and I don't like any of these guys' opinions. I think they're very, very much in their own like echo chambers, being like content creators, and they kind of all bounce ideas. And I really dislike how they argue things from a point of authority. Like you're not a real player anymore. You do this,
yeah,
you
and
you
it's
sensationalize
not
everything.
that like I think these people are bad people.
Oh
I
no,
don't.
certainly not.
They're fine. They're probably cool to hang out with if in a real life setting, you know. Hold on, ganking somebody, actual
'em.
people, crazy.
Get 'em.
But you know, it's like, hold on, there's gonna be a lull. I'll edit it.
All right.
Had to kill this priest. Got him. Anyways, yeah, it's like the best example is the best way I can put it. I was listening to somebody talk. I won't name names, and they're normally their content's great. I mean, all their content's good, but we all watch it and stuff. It's whatever, and they're cool, but they have certain prerogatives with their stuff. But there was a question on the survey about the key ring. Like, was the key ring a good addition to the game? And he was like, no, it was a waste. Like there's not enough shit to care about. And I was like, what? Are you fucking? Because guess what, bro? You don't play the game. You play it for some content.
Yeah.
And you just do your thing to get your clips, and you leave, and you move on to whatever else is generating you revenue.
Exactly. There's like
Every player has ran out of space on their keyring.
Honest guess. SoD added probably about 4 dozen new toys, and they all can go on the key ring.
Yeah, and the key ring.
And if you have spaces and they're not filled with noggin fire, you're playing the game wrong.
Bro, the fucking key ring was fantastic, and it wasn't enough. We needed more.
Yeah.
Like, I was meeting people that just ran out of space. Like I still had some space. I wasn't that intense about it. Like, you know, like there was more.
And that opinion just makes no sense because, like, it was a waste. Do you know how much development time that probably took? It probably took 5 minutes.
99% of the player base who just play the game and don't, you know, people that don't do everything else, you know, like they love the key ring.
Yeah, it's incredible. Like it should just be uncapped, honestly. But that's not really a thing. They would have to just set it to like 99 or something like that, because I'm sure someone will figure out a way to graphically bug out the game so that it just blows up your entire screen. Like they figure out how to split stacks of noggin fogger or something. I don't know, but
Yeah, I mean, there just needs to be a different. That's another day. Talk about it. That's the survey thing. But that was just my point. It's like I wanted to make a show that just offers real opinions from real players. That's why I want to bring in a bunch of our raiders who just are just guys and girls who like the game and don't really have an outlet where their voice can be heard. And I don't want to gatekeep a show where it's like I only want to talk to like people who have a following. No, I want to talk to regular people and let this build a following where regular people follow regular people. And like,
yeah,
I like this opinion because it's just some random guy in a guild out of like 10,000 players. That's
yeah,
what I
sure.
want to hear from. I don't want to. It's not that I wouldn't talk to a cool streamer or whatever. I don't really give a shit because I work with
They
celebrities in
already
real
have
life.
their space.
But yeah, like
Yeah, they already
the
have their
stream-
space, and I think the YouTube and like Kick and Twitch, all those spaces. I think all those spaces are pretty well saturated with people,
yeah,
but there isn't a good WoW podcast. Like people will try to do a podcast, but they always end up dying and falling off. It's just like name a WoW podcast right now that's popular.
Oh, I mean, we've done the
I'll
same
wait.
thing. I mean, it's
I'll
tough.
wait.
We've done the same thing. We've had like really good potential in the show, and the show just kind of slides off. A couple episodes, and people just stop showing up. But you just got to show up. But I think like if we get a good train going and get people involved, it won't be that hard. But let's see. Simple question: would you want to see a Classic Plus? Are we going to run it all back again with all the same people?
That's not a question. That is a statement of fact. If and when
Yeah,
Galaxy Plus exists, sound the horn. Muster
yeah,
the troops. We're getting in
yeah.
there.
That's one of the benefit of our team is it's not something that like was drummed up during SoD. It's not that we didn't meet a lot of players in SoD. We clearly did, and they're still like homies and they're still playing with us. But we had such a foundation. This is where I met you. I met you in SoD, obviously. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of people that I have screenshots from 2019 and we played with. We're all still here.
Mhm.
Still dedicated to the team, and it's been a blessing that most teams don't get to experience is like being a part of a larger picture, which is pretty cool. And once people get ingested into this team and experience what it's like to be on this team, they kind of stick around. Doesn't matter, like headhunted from the other top teams in the world. Like, oh, we can make you parse better. It's like we can't parse your community, bro. Like our community parses hard, and also we have the best players in the game, like legitimately the best players in the game right now. 100s
Yeah.
top parser kind of thing. So we've dad guilded it, but we've also managed to be like top 10, which is crazy.
What's wild is that we are just dads who can still crank. Like,
Yeah,
I mean, that's not true in all cases, but like a lot of us, we're not too young anymore, but we're still out there doing it. And that's
yeah,
kind of what's been nice about SOD is, it offered enough challenge to really create a nice, fun competitive scene to play in.
yeah. I agree, and it's like I said. I mean, I don't really have many words for it besides I've just been appreciative of our team, the people that's been here, keeping everything's rolling, and learning, getting people to delegate and do other work. It's been a fantastic experience, and I'll continue on. I'm not going to stop anytime soon. Obviously, we take like our hiatus or whatever. Things get scaled back during intermissions between like expansions, but when things are rolling, things are rolling. Um, but yeah, I think this is a good stopping point for today. And if you're listening now, I mean, there's plenty more. Just scroll through, and there's tons of stuff, and we're very open. So, if you're tuning in, if you are an old listener that just happened to be still subscribed on Spotify, leave us a comment. Let us know you're still here. Expect from the show going forward lots of content, lots of episodes, and oh my gosh, I see somebody running in. It's a shaman. I gotta do this.
Get them.
Gotta do this. Oh, that's mean. Anyways, people should expect from this show just kind of lots of every other day type content where like whatever's going on with like Wowhead or articles, we kind of react to it and figure out and talk about current events. And also a big retrospective on everything SOD and what to expect from a Classic Plus. As far as topics, it's an open book. Yeah, it's straightforward. This is something to do in our spare time and have fun with and involve people that want to be involved. There's no gatekeeping here. So
Yeah, and that means you guys too, listening at home, let us know in the comments like what you think about what we're talking about, or if you have any feedback or opinions on it.
Yeah.
Or if you have ideas of topics that we haven't thought about, we'd love to hear from you too.
Beautiful. Yeah, but I'm Alf. This is Oli, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.
See ya.